Chapter 17, Relationship, Formalities. More than just friends. By July of 1993, Lynn and I had been together nearly a year. At the time, I wasn't thinking about labels. I was simply living in the joy of us. Only now, looking back, do I see something remarkable. We had never actually said it out loud. We hadn't defined anything. We hadn't needed to. We saw each other almost every day. We kissed with a mixture of tenderness and fire. Everyone around us, my roommates, the open mic crowd, even Dusty, the MC, already spoke of us as a couple. I never wondered if we were exclusive. I trusted the intimacy we shared, her willingness to open her body and her heart. That closeness carried its own answer. Then, on a warm Sunday evening, July 11th, 1993, something shifted. Not in what we felt, but in how we named it. We were outside on the grass, twilight bleeding into night. The sliding glass doors behind us hummed with muffled voices and TV noise, but out on the lawn, it was just us. Her warmth pressed into me. Our mouths met, urgent and sure. Our hands moved under our shirts, caressing skin, our bodies speaking the language they had come to know. Desire escaped the rules I once battled and was transformed into something right, something ours. When the heat softened, we sat back in the patio chairs. I laid a hand on her leg. She smiled at me with a kind of quiet joy that made the world feel impossibly safe. Then she asked, clear and steady, "Are we more than friends? Do you want to be boyfriend and girlfriend?" Her voice held no hesitation, like she already knew, but naming it made it real. I hadn't expected the question, not because I doubted us, but because I already saw her as mine and myself as hers. Her question was a formality, but a thrilling one. "Yes, definitely," I said. I nearly added, "Wasn't it obvious?" But caught myself. This mattered. I wanted her to hear my answer plain. A flicker of nervousness rose, some old part of me afraid she might surprise me. "Is that what you want too?" "Yes," she said, eyes steady. I stared at her, struck by the simplicity, the certainty. "Wow," I breathed. Then again, looking up into the wide, dark sky. "Wow." And in that pause, where joy met relief, something burst free inside me. The words came unplanned, unstoppable. "I love you." Her smile widened. "I love you too." Simple words, but they landed in me like something sacred. What amazed me most was this. Lynn had brought it up. Me, the once shy boy who always waited for the girl to take the first step, had been given this gift. She made us official. We walked back inside, hand in hand. My chest burned with a new anticipation. Someone else would be happy for me. That was still new. "My roommates are going to love this," I told her. "They'll be so happy for us." What was most profound for me was the realization that Lynn had made the request. She had taken the first step in making this formal. I did not have to ask her anything. The profound egalitarian nature of this simple fact cannot be overstated. I repeat this in my head again. Lynn made this happen. She asked. Unlike my parents, who never noticed or cared whether I was happy. Donna looked up from the couch. "Hi, I have something to share," I said, unable to hide my grin. "Lynn is my girlfriend. We're boyfriend and girlfriend now." Donna smiled knowingly. "Yes." "And?" The question expressed surprise. It meant that before we named this relationship, others saw us as a couple, as boyfriend and girlfriend. Terry raised an eyebrow, laughing. "Wait, this is the first time you've said that?" she asked with incredulity. "Yeah, we just made it official," I admitted. They beamed at us, warm and unguarded. Their joy bounced back at me, filling a place in me that had been hollow too long. For once, I didn't have to explain it. I didn't have to earn it. They were simply glad. I confessed how, in the beginning, I hadn't been sure Lynn felt the same way I did. Lynn laughed and said, "Luckily Bruce was persistent." I grinned because it was true. And that made this moment sweeter, not because I had chased her, but because she had chosen me, too. What we had was mutual, real, rooted in choice. From then on, I wasn't shy about us. The connection had already been there, but now it had a name. We were an us. Looking back, I realized the power of that evening wasn't in the words themselves, but in what they represented. A life I hadn't known I could claim. A love that didn't demand proof. People who didn't need me to hide or justify my happiness. Lynn didn't just say yes to being my girlfriend. She gave me belonging. And for someone who had spent a lifetime waiting to be wanted, that yes changed everything. And as she embraced me, I began to see more of her. Not just the woman who loved me, but the artist, the creator, the soul with her own light, waiting to be shared. I didn't want a story that was only about me. I wanted to love her fully for everything she was. And in the chapters that followed, I began to do just that.